Okay, so in the last video, I showed you how to shade one circle. So we went from just a circle and kind of how to shade it to make it into what would look like a sphere. And for your project, you have bulbs that are kind of stacked up to make a pile. So in order to show the shading between a pile of objects, that's what we're going to discuss in this video here. So what we do is we look and see where shapes are overlapping. So like if I number these circles, I have circle 1, circle 2, and then circle 3 here at the bottom. So circle 1 is almost like it's on top of both circle 2 and circle 3. And then we have circles 1 and 2 are on top of circle 3. So in order to show that one thing is overlapping another, we have to incorporate shading. So here, where circles 1 and 2 are touching, there's going to be a little bit of a shadow. So along this curve, I'm going to take my pencil, which when you do this for your project, you're going to use the colored pencil. But where these two shapes are overlapping and they meet, along that curved edge, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to add some shading. So that's going to be the first step that you do, is look and see where shapes are overlapping. And then the one that looks like it's underneath the other, where circle 2 looks like it's underneath circle 1, you're going to incorporate that shading. And then you would just continue that, just like we did for the first video. It's going to be dark. Then as you kind of come out from that, it's going to get a little bit lighter. And you can lighten things up just by not pressing as hard on your pencil. You want to make sure that you're continuing that rounded shape. Okay, and then it's going to get a little bit lighter. And again, I'm just going to lighten up the pressure on my pencil. I'm using the same pencil, just different pressures. And then as I move my way out, it's going to get even lighter. So you should be able to see, different shades almost, because I've got this really dark right here. I've got a little bit darker gray, more of a gray, a light gray, and then the white. Now, that's just for, two shapes kind of side by side. If we add a third one, okay, so I'm going to start just like I did for circle 2, where circle 3 is touching 1 and 2. I'm going to go ahead and do that dark shade there. So along the curves, along the curve of circle 1, as well as along that curve of circle 2. Okay, and I'm doing really dark pressure. So it's going to be like almost like a black for the lead. And I'm going to do that along those curved lines where they're touching, where they're overlapping. And then as I work my way down towards the bottom of circle 3, I'm going to start to lighten up a little bit. So for this next round, it's going to be a little bit lighter. So I'm going to not do as much pressure in my hand and on my pencil. And then I'm going to get lighter again. And then even do a little bit lighter till I get towards the bottom of that circle number 3. Okay, so the first step is go in, and where two circles are touching, you're going to do it really dark. And then just start to get lighter as you move out. So this is what it's going to look like when you start to shade from, one circle that's on top of another. and then when there's 2 circles, on top of a 3rd circle. Now, for your project, when you go to do it, you should have everything painted with watercolor. As far as the bulbs, the toppers, we just painted yellow. And then you'll be using the colored pencil that's associated with that color of watercolor. So make sure that before you watch the next video that all of your bulbs are painted, that your painting is dry, and then you'll need to get your colored pencils out that I gave you in your to-go packs and have those ready.